I can't imagine it without it.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, even though you've you spend more time now in this platform, yeah, you have been consistent creating content, learning the ropes, learning the foundation on how to create content, edit, and put it out there.
Yep.
So
Hey,
that's really awesome. Good job.
baby,
All right, next up, who do we have, Mama
you
Monkey?
get games in your phone?
We cannot hear you.
Your mic, it's off.
You are muted.
Every time, every time. I have a question from Sniper Brennan, who couldn't make it today. What do you like about your most popular video and why?
Nice. Okay, Pow Pop Quiz. Do you know my most popular video?
Your most popular? Yeah, I think I knew. How about is it recent, like this summer?
Is
Did
it
it come out
recently?
this summer?
I don't know about summer, but it did come out
It
sometime
has to
around
do
then.
with something custom UGC-ish. And you wear it.
I think you are thinking of my second most popular video. Pow. I think it's changed since then. But I'll give you bonus points. That was my
okay.
most popular video at one point.
Okay.
My current
Yes,
one,
it was.
on the BVR channel at least, is the 24 hours in Rec Room video. Because over New Year's Eve, I did a stream where I spent 24 hours in Rec Room, which obviously I wasn't the first to do it, but I thought I could add my own
Yes, I
interesting
remember
spin, and it's something I wanted to try. Yeah, you were in it. And I made a whole video recapping it, and that video is like 20 minutes long, and I spent so long editing it. I just remember, what am I most proud of? Honestly, I would have to say the music choices in that video, right? Because most of the music I use in my videos is from, video games. It's video game OSTs, because when you play enough games, you kind of download that knowledge in your brain. So when I'm watching a part of a video, and I'm like, what music do I want to add here? Sometimes my brain will just instantly click and be like, oh, this song from this video game that you love in this specific situation, you love that song, it's from a game you love, and it'll work great in this video. I love when that connection is made, and that happened so much with the 24-hour video. I just feel like my music choices there were very perfect, even though it just blends into the background and no one cares. I also think that video is paced very well. For being a 20-minute video, I think it's very, fun to watch the whole way through. I'm very proud of that video. That's my favorite video on the BVR channel. I'm very glad it's my most popular. I spent a lot of time on it.
Nice. Would you ever do that again? Like a 24-hour plus
Will I ever do it again?
stream?
I think we do have a question later about a 48-hour stream,
That's
so
right.
I'll get to that then.
We'll save it for that. All right. Coming up next, we have Mama Monkey.
All right, I have a question from Ceres, who would like to know what editing programs you use.
I'm gonna see if you actually use it.
What editing program? So let me start by saying,
I just
any editing program works, right? If it can cut clips together, you can make a good video out of it. I started making videos with, first off, I didn't even edit the whole bunch of my videos. And then I used Windows Movie Maker, which I think, a lot of people probably have some experience with starting with. What else? And then I think I moved from Windows Movie Maker to taking my mom's Mac and using iMovie, because that's free on Macs. If you have a Mac, iMovie is a really pretty good free editing software. Oh my gosh, I gotta get, what is it? Lattes. Okay, don't send me gifts. Anyways, so yeah, I think I used iMovie, and then I switched to a version of Vegas Pro, Sony Vegas, called Movie Studio Platinum, which is cheaper. And then about a year or two ago, I think I switched to Premiere. So all of the videos on BVR are edited with Premiere. It's definitely my favorite out of all of them. So I've just slowly upgraded over time. But even only using Windows Movie Maker, guys, you can still make good videos. So don't be like, oh, I need to get Premiere. Premiere's great,
This is kinda
but
boring.
you can just start with something simple.
Awesome. Very nice. I started out with iMovie as well. Nice. Good call. All right. Who do we have next? Looks like we have
Hi,
Andon.
Yeah. Hello. Hopefully my brother doesn't come in. Okay, so I have 3 questions, and yeah, that's it. So first question is, what's your favorite fruit?
Are we doing them all at once, or are we just doing one at a
Yeah.
time?
One at a time, sure.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
My favorite fruit, I'm gonna have to go. See, this has changed recently. It was raspberries at one point. I like a lot of fruit, honestly. I'm gonna have to go with grapes though, The grapes around like August, they're nice and green and crunchy. Love them. Can't get enough of them. I also like strawberries though. I like bananas. I like oranges. I like pretty much any fruit, but grapes are gonna take the top spot
What is
right
he
now.
doing? Okay.
Oh, that's
Second
a good
question. Oh, wait. Yeah, second question. How did you find Rec Room in the first place?
How did I find Rec Room? So, I had a group of friends or just two other friends that both had VR headsets. I think one of them had a Vive, one of them had a Windows mixed reality headset. This was in 2018, and they would both like get on and play VR games together, and they made a video in Rec Room. It was like a fake cooking show or something. And I thought it was cool because they went in a custom room, they
everybody
placed a
knows
bunch of
sex
props, and they did like this fake cooking show. It was really stupid. But
I
I was
am
like, wow,
a
this game looks kind of
registered
cool.
sex
And
offender.
they kept asking me
into a blood
to
your mom.
play it with them, but I didn't have a VR headset, and at the time Rec Room didn't have a screen mode, which is why I was like, we should just play VR chat instead. They have a screen mode. Anyways, so the fact that Rec Room didn't have screen mode at the time is actually what pushed me to listen to their advice and buy a Vive, which is what got me into Rec Room, so I could play with them. Ironically, I barely talk to either of them anymore, and also, very soon after buying my VR headset, Rec Room came out with a screen mode, so that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really funny. A cooking show. Like, did they have props and everything to kind of simulate?
Oh yeah,
the steps.
they had a whole desk they made. They had like a little frying pan.
That's hilarious. I love it. All right.
Okay.
Andon.
My last question is, I don't know if you talked about this on the channel, but what was like the first Sonic game you ever played in your life?
First Sonic game I ever played. Gotcha. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, I made Sonic videos on my BuildBob channel for like 2 or 3 years. I have been playing Sonic games my whole life. I was into it when I was like younger. I really liked Sonic. I would like, I watched the TV show and stuff. And then I kind of fell out of it for a while, but then around the time I started making Sonic content on my YouTube channel, I was getting back into it because that's when the Sonic Mania was releasing and stuff, and I've been a bigger fan since then. My first Sonic game, I think, was Sonic Rush on the DS, and that's still my favorite one, or at least one of my favorites. So, big fan of the Sonic Rush series. I think my favorite Sonic game now is actually probably Sonic Adventure, but I do like Sonic Rush
Can I
still a lot.
mute him?
That was my first one.
Nice. I love that. All right. And our next question we have from Mama Monkey.
Mama Monkey.
All right, this is from Nichols. He would like to know what PVR stands for.
The elusive mystery. See, Pal, what do you think BBR stands for?
So,
Give me your best guess.
I think it stands for better, very, I don't know, and then right, what?
Look it down.
Okay. You know,
BVR.
close guess. Very close.
Brian Verde Robinson.
Brian Verde Robinson. Actually, yes, that is my real full name. Pal just
go.
doxed me in front of an audience of 1,300 people, so thank you for that. No, so the average Joe might assume it stands for Billabob VR or Billa VR or something like that. I guess it does, but here's the thing. I'm not a massive fan of having VR at the end of my username because everyone and their brothers coming out and they're like, oh, I'm going to be Tablecloth VR. That's going to be my YouTube channel. And they just take a word and they add VR, right? Not a massive fan of that, even though that's kind of what I unintentionally did. So it doesn't stand for Billabob VR because I don't like having VR at the end of my name. It's just BVR. It doesn't stand for anything. I guess the B was technically inspired from Billabob, but it wasn't supposed to stand for Billabob VR. It's just BVR. So it stands for nothing. That's your answer.
Wow. Never would have guessed. Never would have guessed that. All right. Floyd
Yeah.
Chester. What do we have?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, Floyd Chester asks, where do you get all your info for Rec Room Roundup? Ooh, good one.
Good question. Good question. So some might question the need for a news show when all of the information is accessible elsewhere. Honestly, it's not that hard to compile the information. Being a person very involved in Rec Room, as a YouTuber and a room creator, I just like follow updates and stuff as they happen anyways. And pretty much everything is posted in the Rec Room Discord. Oh my gosh, I just got... people on my stream just know what just happened. I got a crazy sound effect from getting a bunch of messages. Anyways, so... yeah, I just follow the news naturally. It's pretty much all on the Rec Room Discord. You can just do it there. I also follow the other social media channels. But pretty much everything important I talk about is from, you know, the Rec Room Discord, the announcements channel, the updates channel. Sometimes I do pull from other sources like the creative Q&As or the AMAs they post on the channel, or just like tweets from staff members. I think in my last video I talked about a tweet from Sean. So I look everywhere, you know, but mostly the Rec Room Discord is going to be where you find most of that information.
What is it like being a rec
Nice.
YouTuber?
Great question. All right, Mama Monkey.
I want to stand at this spot right
All right, I have a question from Okay Me Go Home. He would like to know if you think Rec Room will still be a game in 10 years, and if so, will you still be playing?
Oh man. Okay. I hope it will still be a game in 10 years. Otherwise, we'll all be out of a job.
Yeah, we do.
So, I mean, I think it probably will be. I think Rec Room has grown very big. I think it definitely has some staying power. And, I mean, yeah, I guess my answer is yes. And will I still be playing it? I couldn't tell you. I'd like to say yes at this point, honestly, but... You know, at this point, I've switched my channel's focus like 3 different times now. So I don't know if I'll still be making Rec Room videos in like 10 years. I'll probably still be playing it though, because I still play the other things I used to make videos about. I just don't make videos about them. But I guess if I continue to have ideas for Rec Room content, then yes, I will continue making videos about it until I die.
Nice. All right, awesome. And Mama Monkey.
All right, this one is from Black Cover VR, and just like I gotta look at it. Do you ever plan on doing a 48-hour challenge in Rec Room?
This is what we
Wow,
were
you
talking
can do
about
this.
earlier.
Yes.
I could. Here's the thing. I might have during my 24-hour live stream, I remember repeatedly saying, like, dude, I should totally go for 48 hours. Like, I feel perfectly fine. I can totally do this. And looking back now, I don't know if I could do it. Here's the thing. If I did a 48-hour challenge, I would have to sleep partway through, and I feel like that'd be really boring. I don't really want to stream myself sleeping. That'd be weird. I feel like that's weird.
You could probably like collaborate, hand off the baton for a couple hours and then get back
you're
on.
right, you're
yeah.
right. Yeah. Any other Rec Room YouTubers out there? Let me know if you want to take over my stream for 5 hours while I sleep.
Oh, that's a cool
Anyways.
idea. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. So I didn't really get any eye strain or like anything from the 24-hour challenge that made me think I couldn't go longer. The main thing was just fatigue. So I think if I slept, I could do a 48-hour challenge. Will I? Probably not, because I already did the 24-hour one. I feel like 48 hours, I don't really know what else too much like new I could do with that really. So I'm gonna say I probably could if I slept, but I probably won't.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. All right. The next question is coming from Mr. Untold.
Oh my gosh. You read that.
Goodness. Mr. Untold says, I can't even. Mama Monkey, can you read to us
I found it.
the words?
I'll
nope,
come
it's scrolled by.
grab it. So he had 2 questions that were pre-submitted. I'm not sure if they exactly match because it's already scrolled, but I'll go with the ones that were pre-submitted. The first one is, if there's one thing about Rec Room that you could change, what would it be?
All right. One thing I would change about Rec Room, I would add hand holding, because here's why. On the canny, the Rec Room canny, that's where they plan things, right? They had hand holding marked as planned for a whole like year and a half. Do you remember this?
I do not.
Really remember this,
But
'cause
Mama
Yeah,
Monkey
I
remember
don't know if
this.
you remember
Yeah,
this.
Yes.
I wanted it too, and
I know.
I'm friends with the dev that was working on it,
Oh.
but it had too many bugs.
Yeah, I've heard there was a working prototype of hand-holding at one point. And so I'm a little bit peeved that it ended up being completely canned and not revisited. I know it's probably unlikely now with like screen mode because I don't know how that'll work out. But if I could add one thing to Rec Room, it'd be hand-holding because I was ready for it. I was waiting for a whole year, and then it wasn't planned anymore, and now we don't have it, and it's sad.
Were there like certain map designs or games you were thinking
Need that
of, like
sad trombone dragon.
you were thinking of adding that function to?
That's funny that you think I wanted it for the utility POW. I just wanted to hold hands with my friends. That's it. I just wanted to hold hands. I mean, it'd be cool if it also had utility, like, oh, a climbing map where you can grab your friend and like throw them up. But no, I don't even care if it has that, man. I just want my hand to be latched on someone else's.
You go. Oh, the little things.
And then
Good
the other
question.
question from Mr. Untold was, what inspired you to make the orange cube?
I think we already kind of talked about this. It was mostly just, I saw my friends at Mission, had a bunch of purchases. I asked. It was like surprisingly low. I was like, hey, I could do that. The moment it really clicked, because I was like, okay, it has to be the paid invention, right? Because the most purchased, or I guess the most downloaded free invention is like somewhere in the 200,000s, and I knew I could not do that. So the most paid invention, yeah, over 300K, thanks. I knew I could get the most paid invention though, because that was only like 10,000, and I had like subscribers and stuff. So the moment it really clicked is when I realized that I could give back the tokens I make from it to the community, so people didn't all think I was just scamming them for money, because I didn't want the money or the tokens. I just wanted the most bought invention. So yeah, still working on giving back all those tokens. And that was kind of the moment it was like, okay, I can actually like do this now without people being mad at me.
Oh, that's awesome. I wonder, do you actually have like a total amount you've earned so far? And then it's like,
Oh, yeah.
and then you're just deducting, like you have like a meter, like, all right, our goal is to get
Yep.
rid of all these tokens, and
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I have. I have a document
That's
where I
awesome.
keep track of every time I give away tokens for a video or anything like that that's using the Orange Cube money. I think I have about 700,000 tokens left to give away, so I've only really given away about half, because the total received is almost 1.5 million at this point. I just looked.
oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, lots of tokens to give away still. I'm working on it.
What? Oh my god, that's awesome. All right, next question it's more from Mama Monkey.
All right, this is from Critical on Reddit. How do you manage YouTube and building and like everything else you do?
So, simple answer to that question, I don't. I just pick, I just am inspired to do something, and then I do it, and then I'm inspired to do something else, and I do that. And sometimes that's making or working on, a lot of the rooms I work on don't get published. Sometimes that's working on a room back to back and not making a video for a month, and sometimes that's laying around and doing nothing for a month and not doing anything productive. Probably not the best strategy. I know you may have been looking for, an actual time management answer. I'm not the person to ask about that. I just do whatever I feel I'm inspired to do in the moment. I try and stay consistent with YouTube because, YouTube likes that, and obviously I don't want to go too long without uploading, but sometimes I still do, and then I'll start getting comments like, BVR hasn't posted in a month. Like, I don't know, I kind of wish I did post more, but, now that I'm in college and I've got rooms to make still and I've got all this other stuff, it's harder, but I'm working on it. So just do whatever you're inclined to do, and then you'll do it fast, and then you can do the next thing. That's what I do.
No, it's a popular answer. I mean, I've heard that answer from other creators as well who play in Rec Room. They use this space to just explore, create, and they'll switch around based on like just pursuing like what they're curious
not a
about, what they're passionate
broadcaster.
about.
Yep.
It's a nice outlet to explore. So yeah, totally makes sense. All right, Mama Monkey, what do you have?
All right, this one is from Dan the Cats. They would like to know if you've ever thought about making your own building group and not being with Ink Overflow, but making like BVR Studios or something else.
Ooh.
BVR Studios. Yes, I'd actually like to announce right now, Pow and I are creating BVR Studios. We're going to be making rooms together. No, just kidding.
Let's go.
I have not really, because Ink Overflow. I mean, obviously I can make rooms without Ink Overflow. Like, not all of the rooms I make have to be a part of Ink Overflow, which is the building group I work with, in case you did not know. But, you know, I can still make rooms with whoever I want, and it doesn't have to be an Ink Overflow room, or I can make solo rooms. But generally, I'd say Ink Overflow has pretty well satisfied my, like, creative needs, I guess. Like, I feel like I can make things, you know, I can just pitch a room and be like, okay, we can do this, and I have friends on there I can work with. It's pretty much just a group of friends that build stuff. So I'm pretty satisfied with Ink Overflow. I wouldn't make my own studio, because I just like making things. I don't like running things. I let Penn Knight and Mortimer handle all the aspects of being the leaders, I guess. So probably not going to make my own BVR studios or whatever. But I'll still make rooms with other people other than Ink Overflow in the future.
When you are making rooms outside of Ink Overflow, what type of experiences are you kind of creating outside of Ink Overflow projects?
So I think the main rooms that I somewhat recently, like going back a little over a year, made without Ink Overflow was Triple Threat and Sierra Quay. Both of those were contest rooms. I guess I've only really worked on contest or non-contest rooms since I joined Ink Overflow. And I don't know, it was just different people. I wouldn't say it was too different from working with Ink Overflow, because again, we just kind of, make stuff. You can just ask your friends like, hey, you want to make this? And if they're on Ink Overflow, then we can make it an Ink Overflow project, technically. Otherwise, working with people outside of Ink Overflow, it's just like the same thing, except you don't have to say it's an Ink Overflow room, because half the people aren't on Ink Overflow. So I guess the experience is pretty similar, just with different people, and I like working with different kinds of people. There's still plenty of people on Ink Overflow I haven't worked with yet still, so I'm not really feeling limited by that at all.
That's awesome. Great answer. All right. Next up, we have Skull Red 112700. Just 20. Okay.
Bruh.
Can you read it?
Okay. So we have which my watch isn't open. Mama Monkey, pop on up here and read the words.
So Skull Red would like to know which RROs you think are most overrated and most underrated.
Good question.
Nice.
I have some strong feelings about some Rec Room originals. Most overrated, some may say like my Rec Rally, it was a little bit lacking in content, but it's not really overrated if like everyone agrees it's overrated, then it's not overrated anymore, right? There have to be people that like it for it to be overrated. So I'm going to have to go with Dodgeball. There are whole communities built around Dodgeball. There's like a Dodgeball league. There's people who grind the Dodgeball leaderboard, so clearly a bunch of people like it, but I have never seen the appeal, okay? First off, the game, Rec Room staff, close your ears. The game is literally broken like half the time. The hit detection, awful. The catching, awful. It's I'm about to get a sound effect. There you go. Okay. I feel like Dodgeball is never like fully functional, I guess. And it's just such a basic game loop, and games can go on for way too long because people camp in the back of the arenas. And whenever the weekly challenge is like do 10 games of Dodgeball, I groan. It's awful. I hate Dodgeball. I never play it unless I have to. Underrated. See, there was a while where I would have said Paddleball probably, because there was a while where I was grinding the Paddleball leaderboards. I'm actually like top 200 in Paddleball wins or something, and I wanted to be in the top 10. And then I think I got about like 250 Paddleball wins, and I had to get up to like about 1,500 to get on the leaderboards, and I gave up around 250 because it was just so much time. I feel like I kind of convinced myself I like Paddleball, though. I don't know if it's actually underrated or if it's actually just broken and not fun because you can grab the ball. But we'll go with Paddleball for now.
Nice. Oh my gosh. All right. Were you playing with a lot of like just grinding, playing with like whoever shows up in the map, or did you have like people you normally played with?
I would be very hard pressed to find someone else willing to play that many games of Paddleball with me, so I would just randomly queue and join random people. And sometimes I would wait in lobbies forever because not a lot of people play Paddleball. It's not on screen mode. It was certainly an experience.
Nice. If you guys want a 1v1 BVR and Paddleball, type it in the chat right now. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Mama Monkey.
All right, this is a question from FN2771. They would like to know what's the best and worst part about being an awesome YouTuber.
Well, I'm an awesome YouTuber? Okay, guys, don't flatter me too much here. Man, best part is that I get to do a thing I like doing, and it's kind of a part-time job for me right now, and I get to meet a lot of new people, and I feel like my Rec Room experience has been greatly enhanced by making videos. So I'd say that's probably the best part. It's just made my Rec Room experience way better. Worst part, I can't go in public lobbies without someone recognizing me. I can change my display name, I can change my outfit. I don't even know how they do it. If I'm mute, I change my name and I change my outfit. You think no one would be able to know who I am,
Completely,
but
completely
somehow,
changed,
yes, completely
Yeah.
changed. Like, not my account name, so if they click on me, they'll still see it's me. But display name, unless they're clicking on me, how do they know it's me? But somehow